Rich and Divine Rising, everyone. My name is Shayna Singleton, aka the Herpes Goddess, and I am the founder of Herpes Can Never. I have grown the largest herpes awareness community of over 250,000, where our mission is to be at war with the herpes stigma, and so the Herpes Can Never cousins feel comfortable being open about their status and proud of their sexuality. Welcome. This is Healing Wednesdays with myself, the co-founder, Amber, and beautiful Euphoria. If you want to join us in on the conversation this morning, I have put the link to the Zoom not only in the description box, but in the comment section as well. We have the co-founder coming in. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to Euphoria so she can introduce herself to you all.
All right, family, Rich and Divine Risings. It's your girl Euphoria, aka the Breathwork Goddess. I'm a self-taught spiritual healer. My main focus is breathwork because when we control our breath, we control our reality and our spirit, guys. I just want to express gratitude to everyone, Shayna and Amber, for allowing me to share this healing with you guys every Wednesday. Because today and in this space, we are heard, seen, and loved. Pass it over to Amber.
Thank you, Queen. Grand Rising family. It's your girl, Amber, aka Watch Amber, co-founder of Herpes Can Never. I am the confidence queen. I help women heal on purpose. I've been called to help women feel unashamed, empowered, and worthy, and I'm using my real life experiences to do so. Welcome to Healing Wednesdays, and I'm looking forward to getting into this week's session with Euphoria, Queen.
Yes, guys. Okay, so as you guys may or may not have known, for all that have been following, we've been going up and down the chakra scale. So as of today, we are on the 7th chakra, which is the crown chakra, guys, or as they said in Sanskrit, Shahara. Please do not beat me up on the pronunciation. Sanskrit is not my first language. However,
we ain't judging.
But however, this particular chakra connects us to the universe. The mantra with this particular chakra is "I understand." The color associated with this chakra is white or violet. Some crystals you can use with this particular chakra are pearl, moldavite, amber, diamond, moonstone, and the ones that I'm working with today are howlite, clear quartz, selenite, amethyst, and one that I always wear on my neck, which is black tourmaline, guys. When this particular chakra is blocked, you can experience being selfish, spiritually unaware. You have an inability to see the bigger picture, and you get no guidance from the higher power. The seed sound for this particular chakra is silence. This also represents universe, consciousness, divine source, energy, and presence. And for those who do not know, chakras are centers of spiritual power within the human body that exude and emit energy where it can be received or put out. So this one is located within the head space, which is between the two ears or the top of the head, i.e. crown. So the particular frequency we're going to use today during our breathwork session is going to be 963 hertz. This is the solfeggio frequency used to heal this particular chakra. So I'm going to turn that up and we can get started. So through this chakra, for this breathwork session, we're going to
Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Queen. You always get me ready. Always get me right. For those of you guys joining over on Facebook, I have put the link to our Zoom conversation in the description box, in the comments. So if you're not scared, you can join us in on the conversation. We are here, we are live and ready to heal. So I do affirmations. I kind of wasn't prepared today. So I'm just gonna wing it. You are loved, you are worthy, you are capable. You are strong, you are brilliant, you are magic. There's nothing in this world that you cannot create for yourself. You are the conductor, you are the leader, you are the guide to your own path. And herpes can never. Real short, sweet, and simple today. Period. And Amber.
Period. I love you. I love your hoodie.
They got it, and it's so appropriate for me. It's so appropriate. It's actually appropriate for probably all of us.
Hella appropriate. I know, right? Oh my God, we need the keys. Where did that come from? I need one to show up on my doorstep. That is so effing cute. I feel like my dog is trying to get off the bed, so I'm gonna read these and then I'm going to go get him off the bed. But hey guys, thank you, Shayna, for those affirmations. Affirmations is clutch at the end of the day. We want you guys to be responsible in your own self-growth to commit to saying affirmations because they're super helpful. At this time, I usually share a lesson. Being a certified life coach, I found that I was learning lessons for myself I was learning and growing only to help later down the line, help others with their growth. And so I like to always drop a few gems during this time. And so today, what I felt like I wanted to do was I looked up 7 easy steps to become the best version of yourself. So I feel like during our Patreon calls or just during conversations that we have, whether it's on Facebook, on Instagram, or with our Patreons, we have, I feel like we get the reoccurring theme of people wanting to do the work, wanting to be committed to their growth, but still needing help with how or tangible steps that they could take. And so I found these, I thought they were good. So I wanted to share them with you guys. And hopefully you can begin these practices or a few of them immediately. So this came from inc.com. And the first step to becoming your best self is to engage in honest self-reflection. And I feel like we were kind of talking about that last night, and we're always sticklers and supporters of self-reflection. But the key is that honest self-reflection, right? That reflecting and actually taking a situation like how you got your herpes or the situation that led to you getting your diagnosis, and how we usually see it through the lens of the victim, or we see it through the lens of blaming the other party, or just putting ourselves in a lower vibrational position, when we have to take that honest self-reflection. On my end was me acknowledging that I wasn't practicing safe sex health practices. I wasn't operating in my best self. I wasn't loving myself by my actions. So how could I really require or expect someone else to? So these are all things I realized about who I was during the time of me getting my herpes. And that came from honest self-reflection. So that's a major key when you want to talk about doing some growth. And number 2 is maximize your strengths. So it says, take what you learned in your self-reflection and then improve your strengths. The process of self-development does not have to be negative. In fact, it should amplify your unique gifts so you can share them with the world. Totally agree. One of my strengths is speaking and teaching and coaching and leading. And here's exactly what I do in my healing. So in your self-reflection, you'll get to identify the things that you're good at, the things that you're not so good at, the things that you naturally succeed in. So maximize and focus in on those areas during that time. Then number 3 says work on your weaknesses, or work through your weaknesses. It is so important to address the areas we fall short. We want to ignore them. We want to avoid them. We want to deny them. We want to not acknowledge them. But working through your weaknesses will be the best way to avoid repeating the same patterns, having the same triggers. When the same situation presents itself in your life, how are you going to respond or react? We talked about that on Patreon last night. How are you going to respond or react when you're triggered? If it's the same way, then you should be expecting the same results. Because if you're expecting different things to happen when you're reacting the same way, even if it is a familiar situation, you've got to choose to be the different, like the factor that makes the scenario different. Number 4, 7, commit to long-term therapy. This is my long-term therapy, being with my cousins, being in partnership with Shayna. Like, that's my accountability and my mirror and my therapy. But committing to a lifelong journey of self-development, accountability with those that are in your inner circle is crucial to continuing to become your best self, or to maintain your best self. Number 5 is practice meditation. I know Euphoria and Shayna is going to feel me on this one. The importance. Another must for people serious about improving themselves is regular meditation. I'm not saying quit your job and meditate 24 hours a day, but as little as 10 minutes of silence a day will go a long way with yourself and how you engage in the world. So we always talk about meditation and the importance of, even if you're a novice or a beginner, just sitting and being still and getting to the practice and the discipline of silencing your mind and learning when a thought comes up, redirecting yourself. Like, to get that much self-control and discipline over yourself, you will really start to appreciate you and realize the things you're truly capable of. So that's super key. Number 6, exercise, diet, and read. Growing is a holistic process. So don't just focus on your feelings. You need to make sure you're engaging in a whole body, a mind, and a spiritual practice for maximum benefits. So, of course, with our diet, we want to find a diet that works for our body, that works best for minimizing outbreaks. If you do have outbreaks, Reading, self-development. I read so many books and I still read books. Reading is one of my favorite things to do. And of course, I'm about to go to the gym, when I leave here, because I'm working on this body, baby. And number 7, give back to others. Self-development is not selfish. When you take charge of your own life, you're not only improving yourself, you're transforming your relationships and becoming a better parent, partner, and professional. If you want to experience genuine happiness, develop authentic confidence, major game changer, and be the best possible version of yourself, then start the never-ending journey of self-growth. That's literally where Euphoria and Shayna and I are right now. We're experiencing genuine happiness, authentic confidence, and we're able to operate and be the best versions of ourselves, which now means we can give back to others. All of these things happen when you focus on being the best you. You don't realize that when you focus on yourself and truly giving yourself that time, attention, and love, you're going to be able to then become a never-ending source for others, just by the way you live your life, how you treat yourself. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. Healing Wednesdays are about practical, tangible, real life things that you can do, things that we've all done to help break the stigma in your life and to improve yourself, mind, body, spirit, and soul. So that's what I got for you guys. Rich and Divine, to everyone joining, thank you so much for being here. To our cousins watching on Facebook, like Shayna said, in the comments of this Zoom, we are live right now. There is the Zoom link. So if you want to come join us real time right now live, make sure you click on the Zoom link and we'll let you into our room. We're having a conversation. You can join in on this side. We want to say thank you for being here. Herpes could never. And that's all I got. Ladies.
Herpes could never, point blank, period. Since we talking about triggers, just want to say that your triggers will reveal the unhealed portions of you every single time.
Yeah.
No matter where you are in your healing, you can think you got your triggers down pat. I think that I got my triggers down pat and I know how to handle people, but there's still certain little things and people and places in my life that can put me back into my old bad habits, that can get me out of my place of peace. What I'm so prideful over, protecting my peace, they can get me out of my peace. In those moments, it's time to self-reflect. In those moments, it's time to be self-aware. It's never about the other person. People are going to project their own feelings about themselves and their own judgments about themselves on you, regardless. So never take that personal. Who said what is never important. Why it bothered you is always important. That's where you focus your energy on. That energy that makes you mad, that makes you want to get out of character, that makes you emotional, that makes you want to react. No, use that energy to focus on finding the root to why you feel that way. Why did I let someone's words trigger me? Why did I let this place trigger me? Why did I let somebody's actions trigger me? Is it because I'm setting expectations? And why am I setting expectations for somebody who is simply being themselves? Where is that coming from? Is this coming from a childhood wound, a mother wound, a daddy wound? Is this coming from a relationship wound? It's time for you to do the work. I was talking about how you have to cut off everything that is not for you and be with everything that is for you. But I feel like I am in a place in my journey where I can do that. But before I got here, we talked about this last night, I had to practice my triggers. What I mean by this is the people who trigger you are going to teach you the most about you. If you go into those places and go to those people that trigger you with intentions on how you want to handle your triggers, you are able to practice your triggers and practice how you react during those moments when you feel that energy. Like say if it's your dad, my dad triggers me. Okay. I'm going to go to my dad's house today. I know he's about to say some smart shit, but I don't want to handle how I usually handle. Today, I'm going to go about it this way. It's going to be mad uncomfortable because I never do this and I really want to curse him out, but I'm choosing not to do this way so I can figure out what am I feeling in this moment and why am I letting this man trigger me? That is how you set intentions into your triggers. So identify your triggers and go after them, practice them, so that when you are at this point in your life when you can cut off everything that's not for you and keep everything that's for you, and a trigger comes from left field, you've practiced. You know how to handle, you know how to conduct yourself. And even when you find yourself not in that healing space and reverting back to old ways, be proud of yourself for being aware of that. And right afterwards, fix it. Figure out the root problem. Ask yourself, why did this bother me? And remind yourself that it's never the other person. Don't take it personal. It's always about you. Why would this word, this action, this place, this thing pull such an emotion out of me that it takes me from my peace? Why am I self-sabotaging myself at this time, in this moment? For what? Figure that part out. Euphoria?
Okay. I love what you said, Shayna, and you too, Amber. For me, right? I don't know if everybody knows, but it's like Mercury retrograde going on, Saturn retrograde, all kinds of different backtracking during this week, right? Okay. So for me, when it comes to reflecting on my triggers and as it pertains to breath work, I've been noticing a lot of old energy coming back into my new space. I've been feeling healed. I've been feeling like I can share energy. I've been feeling like I can be peaceful, be happy all the time. In some way, somehow, all of this energy is trying to come back into my space. But as you said, Amber, going into these conversations now, knowing I know this person triggers me, but I know I have principles and morals I've now set up for myself, standards, boundaries, and I'm not going to let them cross these things. And I want to see how that materializes. And that even shows me growth when I get through those situations. So for the person who wants to, I don't know, hit you up with a late text at 3 a.m. saying, hey, are you up? And you look at the phone because you happen to wake up, you look, you put the phone down and you get your rest because you care about you, because your rest is way more important than that late night text, And as it pertains to breath work, just being in tune with my breath, being able to just, even if I feel that energy come on me where it's like, oh, I'm starting to feel triggered, I could just know, breathe. Why is this so triggering right now? What about this? I have to figure out the angle. For me, it's like, what about me still needs this lesson? Okay, now I record the lesson because now I have the journal. Okay, we record our lessons around here so we do not relearn the same lesson, because I've also learned you're not going to stop learning the lesson until you have actually adopted the principles that the lesson is trying to teach you. So if you feel yourself continuously going through the same thing, you're like, why do I keep going through this? Why do I keep going through this? Again, like Amber said, I'm going to say Shamber and Amber again. Again, like Shayna said, it's never about that person. That is just a tool within the universe used to teach you something. And it's just a familiar tool that you're familiar with. It's never about Sam down the street on the corner. Sam doesn't have a personal vendetta against you. It's a lesson that you really, truly need to learn in order to move to the next version of yourself. So just knowing that when we are experiencing these traumas, especially during this week, just reflect, guys, breathe through it. Don't let it eat you up on the inside. Just know that you can take that time, those 10 minutes, that 5 minutes, even those 3 seconds, whatever it is, and just breathe. Something that's so tangible that you can do while you're in traffic at a red light. You can do it at work, at the desk, just and enjoy the feeling of that cool air that you have the power to bring into yourself. Hold it in there as long as you need, and then visualize while you're holding all that stress, that tension, that emotion. Change the color of the air even. When I breathe and I think I'm breathing in blue, And while it's in me, it turns to this red color because I'm angry, whatever this feeling, this emotion is. And then I hold it and then let it go, turn it back to white. Because it's no need in holding on to anything, guys. Just release, learn and release. Amber King.
We got cousins in the room. So I don't know if our cousins is listening, if our cousins is participating. I don't know what our cousins are doing. Shayna, what are our cousins doing?
They joining. I renamed them as cousins, so you won't be able to see the cousins on the live as long as their cameras is off.
Okay.
You might be able to hear them because I'm looking on Facebook Live now. All you see is me, Amber, and Euphoria. So I know for sure if the cousins keep their cameras off, you will not be shown on the live, but you can feel free to say something if you like, or if you just want to be here in this space with us, that is welcomed as well, because we love you, y'all family. And it's dope that you joined the live anyway. So welcome, cousins.
Yes.
Euphoria, you said something that gave me a thought, and I hope it's not slipping my mind right now. Shit, what happened?
Because I'd be
Whew, I need to
bursting out things.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, Queen. Yeah, I don't have it. I don't have it, y'all. I don't have it.
Hey, cousins who are here watching us on Healing Wednesdays. If you want to say something on the Zoom, feel free. Your cameras are off, so we just want to invite you into the conversation. We don't want to make you seem like you guys are in the audience and you're right here with us. Or if you just want to listen as well, but join in. We're talking about healing. We're talking about triggers. We're talking about identifying those triggers, being able to be smack dab in the middle of a situation that you're realizing is triggering you and figuring out how you're going to act and change what you're currently doing. Because what does this have to do with our herpes outbreaks? For a lot of people, you know that your triggers could lead to stress, which could lead to outbreaks. What does this have to do with healing, period? This has to do with overall your mindset, shifting who you are. This is a holistic thing. We're not just trying to, we're breaking the stigma, but our goal is to create the most confident version of you. Because when you're that, you subconsciously start giving back because you're fulfilled and content with you. So you, instead of being selfish, internalizing, taking everything personal, instead of looking at a situation like how can you benefit from it? Because that's how I looked at life prior to my herpes, not necessarily thinking I'm a selfish person, but that's just kind of what my disposition was in life. But now that I'm this version of me, it's like, who can I help? Who can I bring more on this side? Who can I help show them who they really are? So it just changes who you are, period, in life, and how you move about when you do the work to heal, when you do the work to address your triggers and change your behaviors. It has an effect on your whole life. So I want to encourage everyone to continue working in that area. Cop that trigger journal if you ain't got it yet for the book club. Okay. Okay.
Period. Okay. Book club starts June 1st.
Okay, I'm hyped.
Work. Okay, let's talk herpes, right? Let's talk herpes and our healing. Last night we watched a video, and I mentioned how, say if you at this space and you just started speaking life into yourself and affirmations into yourself, or you just found herpes canaver and you finally starting to feel better about your herpes diagnosis, and you get to this point like, yeah, I'm ready to disclose, I feel good, I'm more confident than ever. And then you get down to disclosure and the stigma comes out of left field. What you thought you just broke from yourself is just coming back out of left field all of a sudden when you're about to disclose. Then you disclose and this person accepts you, but you still haven't accepted yourself. So you can't even fathom the fact that they are accepting you right now, and you're saying and you're doing everything to push this person away. And it's important for me to bring this up because we experience a lot of herpes negative people in our DMs asking us, how can I make my herpes positive partner feel better, feel more comfortable, feel like I am accepting? And there's no real answer that I can give them Because if you don't accept yourself, my love, you're going to make it hard for other people to accept you. Can you imagine how someone who is herpes negative feels if they're like, okay, it's just herpes. Don't everybody have it? Like, aren't you on antivirals? You don't have an outbreak, right? It's okay, we're good. And then here you are, the person with herpes. How could you be accepting of this? Like, I just don't feel right. I'm in my head. I'm this, and this, and that. You're going to push that person away. You're going to set an alarm in that person. Well, she the one with herpes and she feel away and I don't even care about it. Should I be worried? Mm-hmm. Look at how you're feeling a stigma for yourself. Look at how you're showing up to that disclosure. That's just one example, but this is an example of why it's so important to accept yourself. We talked about rejection, how we only fear rejection when we reject ourselves. If somebody rejects me, to me, that means that my herpes is doing its job. Herpes don't have to be a negative thing. You can't say, oh, herpes is going to keep the person I want away from you. No, herpes is going to keep the people who ain't for you the hell away from you and keep the people who are for you with you. Mm-hmm. That's the blessing within itself. But we're so focused on the negative. We're so focused on creating this negative narrative for ourselves and putting power in that we can't even see the blessings that come with the diagnosis. For the people who don't like to hear it, I don't give a damn. For the people who say it's like you're telling people that they don't have to be sad when they found out they have herpes. Yes, that's exactly what I'm telling people. Life happens. It's as common as your common cold. By the time you're 50, you probably have herpes. By age 25, everyone in this world, by age 25, 1 out of every 2 people find out they have an STD. Whether it's curable or not, it could have been herpes for you. It's a little bit of slice of humble pie. I'm going to pass it over because I'm ranting now. And I hear myself rant.
Okay. I actually have something interesting to add to this conversation. I actually had this conversation this week. So as family knows, everyone that follows me on IG, I have herpes positive listed in my bio, right? Well, I've been exploring the dating world for the past few, and someone that I met, you know, they breezed through my page and everything seemed fine. But I had to ask them the question that, you know, weighs heavy on everyone's mind. Well, since I'm herpes positive and it's out there in the open and it's public, how do you feel about that? Coming onto my page, seeing that, being someone who's interested in me, right? And the person says, I accept you and your herpes because you keep yourself up, whatever else, right? Doesn't matter why, but I accept you, right? However, I just don't like the fact that you're so public about it or that it's broadcasted like that. And as it pertains to the crown chakra, I had to understand, right? Because first off, being someone who's so proactive and so pro, herpes is my navigator. It helps me. It keeps the people I don't want around from, you know, rejection is redirection, right? I had to understand their perspective. Okay, I could understand that. But in the same breath, just like Amber, just like Shayna just said, I accept myself so openly and so thoroughly that, again, now looking back on that, I can't understand now, right? So I'm still sitting here trying to understand the perspective, and I'm using this situation to speak to this person to understand their perspective more so when it comes to relationships for other people. So if you were to date someone who is herpes positive and is vocal about herpes, how you handle it. And it's giving me that understanding instead of going into my normal state being, oh, you don't want me to be proactive and and well, if you don't want me to be, then we can't be friends. I have to sit here and understand the situation, learn the situation, feel it out. What about someone being vocal about something that they're going through is triggering to you? Yeah. So it's not just us being triggered. It's sometimes even the other side of the world being triggered. Oh, well, I can accept your herpes, but shh, just don't tell nobody about it. Well, who are you to tell me that I can't share my story to enlighten and heal and help other women, men, and anybody for that matter with their journey. And I don't want to rant, right? But just sometimes even I know that we need comforting in our space because we are healing. And this is something that we're all slaying, the stigma. But even now being someone who is helping slay the stigma, I'm now understanding the other side, or trying to understand the other side rather. Yeah. And in this space, it's giving me more virtue about different people's perspectives. But just understand, we're not always the only ones out here, guys. So I'll hand it over to you guys.
I'm happy you brought that up because I had that conversation with my mom, and she was like, you need to understand that maybe some people might be embarrassed, you know, with what you're doing. And I'm like, Mom, I love myself 100% openly and completely. And I'm out here loving myself as my authentic self. And if you can't love me in the same capacity, then you don't have a space in my life. Because this is how I love me. This is how I show up for me. And I expect you to show up and love for me the same way I do for myself. My self-love is my standard. It is my boundary. And if you can't meet it, then you can go left. You can go. If me talking about my herpes makes you feel away and makes you want to step back from loving me, then did you truly love me to begin with? Can you love me? Do you love yourself enough to love me in the capacity that I love myself? I can't set expectations for people. And I'm not hand holding. I'm not stroking anybody's ego anymore, because my herpes, again, is going to do what it needs to do for me. And that's keep the things and the people and the places the hell away from me that ain't for me, that don't serve me, that don't feed into me. And keep the things that are for me, that do serve me, that do feed into me in my life. I have too many friends, herpes positive and herpes negative, that love me out loud. Too many family members as well to do it, to be focused on the family and the friends that don't do it. Mm-hmm. Spend time where the love is at. Spend time where the support is at. Spend time where the peace is at. When we focus on that negative, we are neglecting the time we need to spend on the people who do love us. And we're probably putting a strain on those relationships. So don't focus that energy on the negativities or the people who are not going to accept you wholly. They got some work they need to do. Why don't you inspire them from afar while you loving on those who love you?
Okay, I'm glad you hit it like that. Because I think that was the angle. I'm glad you directed what I was trying to say, because I wanted to understand that person. But at the same space, like you said, I was like, if you're not going to help me with the movement, then why are you here, right? So I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Shana.
A lot of people are going to be threatened by what we do, as far as like intimidated, not even really threatened, like intimidated with the fact that, wow, like what living publicly about your herpes is going to make is like the ultimate like slap in the face to like society and norms and rules that we've been following our whole lives. So the first guy, like the guy that I was just with, he was okay with me being public about my advocacy because he had herpes too, but he wasn't broken free of the stigma fully. And so that's what, I can't date anybody who's not broken free of the stigma, whether you have herpes or not. You could even be herpes negative, but if you're still feeling the stigma, I can't be with you. If you're herpes positive and you're feeling the stigma, I can't be with you. Just your mindset, your disposition, your words, your lack of knowledge, but then your lack of wanting to be, educate yourself. I can't deal with it. But I did recently was talking to a guy, I mean, not really talking to him, but just in talking to him and getting to understand him. He made a few comments about how I shouldn't be talking public about my herpes, about how basically like it's not something to be, like, he basically wasn't sure if he was going to be able to date somebody like me who the whole world knows I have herpes and I talk very openly about it. And I'm just kind of reached the same point like you, Euphoria. I was just like, A, I was just turned off because I'm like, bro, what? Like, are you kidding me? But B, it's just like, you got to be prepared when you're living at this level of truth and self like awareness and this level of healing that 99% of the world isn't, including, you know, our own family, our own friends who even ask, are you sure you want to do this? Or do you think somebody will ever want to be with you? Because the world knows, like, even questions that are asked from that angle, which kind of are trying to be like wrapped in love and concern, are still in a way like the reason why we have to do what we're doing, because my herpes shouldn't literally matter. And whether the world knows or not shouldn't literally matter to determine if somebody wants to be with me or not. So y'all, this healing ain't for everybody. This level of self-awareness.
Listen, I recently told my person in my life, do you know the magnitude of woman that you're saying you want to spend a lifetime with? Because I'm going to make this world shake. I have a purpose and I am in it. So I'm going to need you to understand the magnitude of woman that you have interest in. That's how I'm coming. I can give a damn if me talking about my herpes make you feel ashamed. You ain't my type if that's the case. If you afraid of some herpes, you ain't my type. If you thinking me talking about my herpes is telling my business too much, you ain't my type. If you the type that think that me talking about herpes is sharing too much, but then you on social media talking about all your vacations, everywhere you eating at, checking in at places, all your family members' names, your kids' ages, when they graduate. If you talking about all of that business, you ain't my type. Because how dare you say me talking about my herpes is too much when you literally putting your whole life on social media? It may appear like I'm putting my whole life on social media, but all y'all get is my healing. Y'all don't know the half of what goes on behind those closed doors. Y'all can't even see the house that I'm living in. Y'all gonna see this tapestry. So again, if you afraid about me talking about herpes, about me saving people's lives, about me touching people's souls that I haven't even met yet, about me getting people out of suicide that I haven't even met yet, yo, having me is a big flex. Now, I'm sorry, I'm gonna pass it because I can't.
Period.
Spiritual warrior, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all
need to block both of them. Okay. I don't know who they are, but y'all don't know the magnitude of women that's on this live with me right now. If y'all don't see it, y'all don't deserve them.
Yeah, I definitely see my worth and magnitude value. And I literally know I'm like, whoever gets me for the rest of their life, bruh, shoot.
Lucky.
Like,
I'm lucky that I got you. So I already know that who's that king that comes into your life.
The man who gets me in that capacity, I'm sitting real, I'm chilling until that person that with that vision comes up and identifies what it is. Like, it's just, yeah, people aren't going to be ready.
Definitely.
And a lot of people stay in the stigma of their herpes. They stay in the stigma of the herpes mindset because that already lives. Misery loves company, and we want to be where the majority thinks. We want to think how the majority thinks to fit in, to be socially accepted. But if you say, I'm okay with, not only say I have herpes, but then you mess around and say, I'm okay with my herpes. Then you mess around and say, I accept my herpes. Then you mess around and say, I love me and herpes can never, and herpes saved my life. Oh no, now you just went to the whole opposite end of the social like structure and context, and people don't want to identify themselves with people who everybody else looks at like they crazy. But if you're so busy worried about what everybody thinks about me and you're letting that play a factor into what you think about me, or if you think that about me because that's how everybody else feels, so that's what your thoughts are, this level of healing isn't for everybody. Because I'm going to challenge you to question and think about all the effed up stuff that you're thinking about me because of my herpes. That are you thinking about me because I love myself despite or in spite of my herpes? Like, you just have to realize that your truth is going to make other people around you, and not even directly around you, uncomfortable. But it's also going to, like Shayna said, help people if they were suicidal, help people if they literally felt like they had no one else, help people who say, oh my gosh, she knows what I'm going through because she just said it out of her mouth. That's the exact same thing I thought at one point. Your truth is going to do what it's supposed to do for you. Keep the people away who aren't meant from you, and bring the people close to you that are meant to be around you. So the truth is going to set you free. So go ahead, cousin. Floor is open. Herpes can never.
Good. Well, grind rising, lovelies.
Rich and divine rising.
Hey, queen.
Hi, babies. I just had to add my 2 cents because y'all telling y'all business saved me. Y'all putting y'all business out there opened the door for me to start learning how to heal. I didn't know where to begin. I knew I didn't want to be sad no more. I knew I didn't want to be in the hole anymore. I knew I wanted light. You get what I'm saying? And another thing too, if I would have been more educated about STDs, STIs, and herpes before I got it, I would have not been so sad. And that's just realistic, because literally once I found out facts and not just the stigma, oh baby, I don't care. Now, it did take me a little bit longer it did not a little longer. It did take me a little bit to fully come to, okay, this is what it is. Acceptance. It took me a second to fully accept it. But once I accepted it, okay, what can I do? Like your hair, like your arm. You was born with an arm. If your arm go missing, you gonna miss your arm for a little bit. But you're gonna get used to not having that arm because you're gonna get a prosthetic arm. Okay? So it's all right. Love yourself, care for yourself, and keep it pushing. And if anybody don't love you because of your herpes, they're not meant for you. Like Euphoria said, rejection is redirection, baby. Keep it pushing.
Period. I've been saying that all hour.
And to add on to that, if you can't love me and I love me, then you can't love me. You don't have access to love me. If you don't love me how I love me, you can't love me, because I love me and everything around me is a reflection of me. And if you don't reflect how I feel about me, you can't be in my space. I'm going to observe you, but you just can't be in my circle though. This is my solar system. You could be one of those things on the outside, on the other galaxy somewhere. But this is my solar system here.
Facts.
And we love it here.
Facts.
Okay?
Not dim my light. I shine too bright. And if I got you question, if I got you questioning yourself, my light is doing what it needs to do. It's exposing your darkness. Work on it.
Absolutely.
If me loving myself out loud triggers you, ask yourself why. No one loving themselves out loud should ever trigger you. No one living in their truth should ever trigger you. No one minding their damn business and doing what makes them happy should ever trigger you. If it triggers you, it's not a me thing, it's a you thing. Go do some work. If it triggers you, you might need to sit and listen to me to figure out why it's triggering you. You need some healing. Go do some work. My self-love is the standard. That is my boundary. If you can't meet it, you got to go. I was watching The Business Bully a few weeks ago, and he said, go through your contacts on your phone, go through all your social media. If you want to be successful, you cut out everybody in that phone right now that ain't for you. There's no in between. That person, place, or thing is going to be for you or against you. Choose you always. That's family, that's friends, that's acquaintances, that's everybody, that's people, places, and things. Keep what's for you around and keep what's not for you the hell away from you, because it's going to continue to be not for you. That's all I got.
I'm going to go through my contacts and delete some people today.
Me too.
Yes, I for sure am. I need to clean up my contacts anyway. It's been years. I know I got about 300-400 numbers. I probably don't even. I got so many numbers. Delete.
Call me Blockiana. That's my name.
Okay.
I'm about to delete all types of people off my phone. I don't even want the energy of their name, their contact stored in my phone anymore.
Nope.
Next.
I don't even have names saved. It's usually just phone numbers in my phone. I'm like, who is this? Oh, sorry. Please save me.
Who is this? Nah. New number. Who this?
I'm just
that's the one right there.
I'm gonna just get a whole new number. That's it. Period.
I love it.
Number.
I'm on number 3 at this point. I need another phone number at this point.
I'm afraid to get a new number because of my passwords. You know, they send you the notification, then I got a new number. They can't send me a text message and I can't get in.
That's crazy. I'm kind of crusty. Yeah, I'm excited. We're gonna do this again tonight, 7 p.m. on Instagram Live. Our Instagram Lives be popping. Yeah. They're engaged over there. Our cousins are over there. So if you're not busy, come back with us this evening at 7 p.m. on on IG. We're going to be going live from the Herpes Can Never page. We'll have Euphoria back in the building. Shayna and myself, we can engage in part 2 of this conversation. It's about healing, about doing the work, about, man, it's like you even want to heal, but then you're like, when you start healing in itself is work. It's good work. It feels good. It's tough love work. But then you start to heal and feel better. And then you realize that you're distancing yourself from those people that you used to being around, that you love, that you consider friends, you consider family. It's like when you start to heal, you're going to see the separation between you and everyone around you, because most people are not healing. Most people are content. Most people are avoiding their issues. Most people are denying the work that needs to be done. And so you're like Shane is talking about her light, making others uncomfortable. Your healing is going to start to brighten your light because you're starting to release the negativity. You're starting to the burdens of the things you've been struggling with. As you heal from them, they're going to raise off of you. You're going to feel lighter. Your energy is going to be lighter. Your spirit's going to be lighter. And you're going to be able to feel that, but also other people around you are going to be able to feel that as well. That's either going to repel them or draw them closer. And it will repel most, honestly, in the beginning, especially because they're not going to be used to you being like this. So what they're going to be like, oh, you changed, or what are you going through, or what are you doing, or what you've been up to? They're not going to recognize this version of you because you've always been something else for so long, and it's going to make them feel some type of way. But you can't let that push you back to your old ways. You can't let the fact that an unhealed person doesn't recognize who you are becoming stop you. You got to continue to move forward and hope that your example that you're setting will be an example for them to one day come along, because they're not going to have the ability to drag you back where they are, but maybe your example will create the ability for them to take steps forward towards their own healing. So you realize the example that you become when you decide to address your own shit, do the own work in your life, and choose you and love on you, because so many people around you aren't doing that. And it'll have an influence on them, positive, negative, but it's going to have some type of influence on them. So just be encouraged to try something different, do something different, be something different, because it was the best thing that I've ever done, choosing me and choosing to heal and share my story and be unapologetic about mine. So Herpes Can Never, I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Cousin, thank you for being in the building. Love you, appreciate you, Queen. And I can't wait to see y'all later. I'm going to hand it over to Euphoria and then let Shayna finish us out here. But love you, cousins, and I'll see you tonight at 7 p.m.
Okay, family, it's your girl Euphoria. I'm tapping out. Breathwork goddess, self-taught spiritual healer. Remember, guys, through everything, breathe, control your reality, control your spirit, control your frequency, control your vibrations. Only let things around you that reflect your inner spirit. That's what I want to leave off with today. And my T, I didn't get to read y'all my T. The T says, you are unlimited. So remember that. You're unlimited.
There's no unlimited.
I love it.
Be great. Be everything that you're supposed to be. And then add value. Know your value, then add tax. But yes, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you, Shayna.
Thank you, Queen. Amber said a mouthful. I'm really about to close it out. When you're healing, you also have to understand that before you're healing, everything around you is a reflection of your mindset. And now that you are choosing to have a different mindset and choosing different things for yourself, it's not that you're repelling everyone away from you, but you're growing out of that mindset and they don't reflect it anymore. You've built trauma bonds. You've built relationships with people who benefit off of your lack of self-love. You've built relationships with people that you guys like to be victims together and exchange those stories together and fuel the negativity with one another. And when you grow out of that mindset, some people are still stuck in there. They're still stuck in that curse. They're still stuck in that. So never take it personal. I stress never take it personal because in my healing, I took it personal and I couldn't understand it. So if I can stop y'all within y'all healing to not take it personal, it's gonna relieve a lot of pain and a lot of stress out of your healing process. When you see someone who's not willing to go to the heights as you, take it as a celebratory moment for yourself. The fact that you have gotten out of that space. Let that person be a reflection of how far you've come, because that person was once someone who was so important in your life. And now if their energy does not aid in your healing and on your spiritual journey, that just shows you how far you have come. Live to inspire and protect your peace always. My name is Shayna Singleton, aka the Herpes Goddess, and I'm the founder of Herpes Can Never, where our mission is to make everyone feel comfortable until our Herpes Can Never cousins feel comfortable being open about their status and proud of their sexuality. We're so happy to have you all here with us this morning. We come here on Facebook Live to spend some time with our cousins and to do recording so that you guys have the replay on YouTube available. We'll see you later on tonight on IG. Love you all. Peace, love, and light.